Welcome back to TMZ Verified. I'm Steph.
I'm Wild.
And I'm Tayler Holder.
We're so excited to have you.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
So Human is the name of the new single. Tell us about what inspired, because the song is like pretty emotional.
It is.
What inspired it?
Yeah. So this year, I just like some people, probably there's a lot of other people that are going through stuff as well, but it was not the ideal start to the year. I wrote it at probably honestly the lowest point of my life. I wrote it at like the most vulnerable stage of my life. And it's just basically like letting people know, like, you know, with all this stuff, like you know, like I said, they hold us to such high pedestals. They hold us to like, because we have this, they leave us no room for like maturing. They leave us no room to make mistakes. And it's like it's like just saying like, you know, we're human just like everybody else. Like, I'm gonna fuck up. I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna this, I'm gonna that. And like also just let people know, because I try to talk to a lot of people that look up to us. There's a lot of people that look up to like all these influencers and like, I want to be famous. I want to have a lot of money. I want to all this stuff, you know. And it's like, there's not a lot of people that talk about like what it's really like. It's like, cool, it's nice to have money, but what is money and what is fame if you completely lose yourself trying to find something you thought was so great, right?
Yeah.
It's like at that point, like you're just like a sad guy in a big house, you know. It's like, what is it? What is it? You know. And so I'm just like trying to let people know that they're not alone in the way that they feel. Like they look at us and like, this life is so perfect. I'm like, it's really not, man. It's like I've been one of the most successful people in this industry, I would say, in the social media space, and it's honestly put me at probably the lowest points of my life. And so I just want to let everyone know that they're not alone, that this isn't like what everyone thinks it is. Like, stop just listening to everybody, you know. Do your research a little bit, I guess.
When you say you went through a lot this year, when like the lowest parts of your life from this year, can you elaborate a little bit on that? What went on? And stuff
you
like
know,
that?
there was from anywhere from like relationship problems to life problems of like just, you know, social media and people have inputs and people have stuff that they want to say and speak freely on and all that stuff. This has nothing to do with the song, but I lost my best friend a couple months ago.
Sorry.
And
Sorry to
so
hear that.
no, you know, it's all good, man. It's a part of life, but it just like, it was all just so like so much at one time, like going over and over, just like back to back. I was like, yo, when does it fucking get a little better? You know what I mean?
Right.
But
So you penned this open letter a few weeks ago, and you talked about essentially, kind of hinted at a bunch of the things that you went through this year. But there's something that I wanted to hint on. You said that there were a series of fabricated rumors which can only be described as cyberbullying. Can you kind of elaborate on what those rumors were?
you know, I mean, I'm sure just like everybody else, you guys have like definitely heard some of the stuff that was being tossed around, or like these media outlets were saying and stuff like that. And
Unlike everybody else, though, we're pretty
TMZ,
factual here.
yeah.
So
yeah, you guys are
so
solid. There's a lot of people.
There's
There's a lot of people that just like grab stuff and roll without doing
Right, yeah,
their
no, we
own,
don't do
doing
any
their
of
own
those- we don't
research.
do
You
any of
know,
that. Bro, yeah, we like
We're
to
coming
kinda-
straight to the person. We want to know
yeah,
exactly.
you know, and I say fabricated. I say like out, you know, like out of proportion stuff like that. Is because like it's all like he said, she said. Like I can, you know, everyone can say what they want, but it's also like narrowed down to the facts of like doing your own research about it, talking to like other people that also are involved in the situation and all that stuff. You know, that's why I say like these media outlets, they just grab something that's rumors that like no one has even said anything. Like if you actually do your research, there's no one that's ever said anything. And then there was like everyone's like, oh, he sent letters, he sent da 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 da, and it's like, and I'm thinking back, and I'm like, I just like, that's why like everyone's like, why did you never speak out? Why did you? No one ever said anything, so there is nothing for me to speak out about. You want me to speak on rumors at that point? What is rumors though? It's rumors. It's and everyone's like, oh, there's letters, so they can't say anything. It's like, no, letters. If anything, I mean, you guys like know, like letters is saying like, hey man, like let's go legal with this. Let's talk about, like, if you want the real truth to come out, let's let it really come out, you know. And so that's why, like, I don't know, I don't do the whole like internet thing and internet like drama and all that stuff. I do what is supposed to happen, the right thing. And that's what I said. Yeah, it's all fabricated. It's all blown out of proportion. At the end of the day, you know, it sucks that stuff like that gets said about people. But you guys have worked with like the highest of highs, and that stuff happens pretty regularly to people. You know, there's always like someone trying to get attention from someone off of somebody. So
Right. So you'd say that they're rumors. That's what you would classify
100%,
them
yeah.
as. Okay. So why do you think that those people that unfollowed you and kind of publicly said, I don't mess with Tayler Holder anymore, I'm not going to be associated, why did they do that?
A lot of them don't know what's actually going on. I think a lot of them are also just not or disassociating themselves, because there is actually people that have actually unfollowed me, and they came back and they were like, oh, like, I'm sorry, like, and they actually heard my side, and I showed them the proof that I have of everything, actually, because there is, and that's one thing that people miss, you know, they just like jump, but yeah, they come back and they apologize, and they're all like, oh, I did this because I heard this, and I just got scared, and I didn't want to be associated with something like that. I'm like, I understand, but what people don't realize, and that's why I'm saying, like, I wrote this song at like the most vulnerable stage of my life, right? Is like being that's why like I hate like this whole bandwagon of social media, right? It's like everyone hops on just like whatever's the most talked about.
Right, yeah.
Everyone like did all of that, but yet they want to come and apologize to me. It's like, you weren't sorry until I found out, right? It's like, you weren't sorry until like we know now. And it's like being associated with someone publicly during those times, I understand if someone like I wouldn't necessarily want to be associated with someone that stuff being said about them. But it's like, if you're like my homie, right? You're like my family that I've known for 6 years out here. Like no one ever, not once, like even my closest friends out of everybody in the entire world through all this, they never once came and asked me what was going on. They just hopped on the bandwagon and unfollowed me because of who the person is that started all of this. And so
So did it start with one specific person, this rumor?
Yeah.
And it spread?
Yeah.
Okay.
And no, but like that's why I say is like being associated with someone is one thing, but like none of these people ever just like off the record, no one knowing, like just came over to my house or just picked up the phone and was like, "You're like, how you doing, buddy?" Like everyone knew that I was like the lowest I've ever been in my life, and no one gave a fuck to like even simply just check up on me. There was people that started checking up on me months after nothing ever came out.
Yeah.
There was people that started coming back and talking to me, like they would see me out at events and be like, "What's up, buddy? How you been?" I'm like, if you like, with all due respect, man, just please like fuck off. Like just like let me do my thing, like
respectfully, fuck it.
Yeah, and it's like I'm not that guy because I'm actually like a really like genuine and nice guy, and I don't like being mean to people, but like I don't know, I just like social media, they move really weird. It's like I'm in a giant like middle school, man, and everyone just like worries about what everyone else is doing. Everyone gossips about what this person's doing or who this person slept with, who that all this stuff. And I'm like, yo, if you guys worried about yourself, 10% of like what you're worried about everyone, you'd be so much more successful in life. Like,
so I actually read the whole letter, man. I just want to ask, have you or your team ever been approached by any law enforcement or any other attorneys with anything at all?
There's so many people that are in these moments that pay people to shut up, that they do stuff to keep stuff off the record. I've never had anything brought to me for any type of lawsuit. If anything, I've let everyone know that I'm familiar with everyone that is in the middle of this, and that's why I say like me and my team handle it the right way offline. And that's what those letters were. We're saying that, hey, we are fully ready to go legal with this. We actually asked them to go legal with this, and they responded with, my clients want nothing to do with this anymore.
Right, because you said I was never confronted with anything specific in which I could respond to. So this is your time.
As in someone saying something that like this altercation or this whatever happened to them. So therefore I had nothing to respond publicly to besides these media outlets that don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And then second, there was no anybody that came to me legally to try to do anything. So it's like I'm fighting smoke at that point. There's nothing to like. It just sucks.
So we're TMZ, obviously. We're a media outlet. We like news.
Of course.
So I'm asking you straight away: is there anything that ever happened that you like are sending these out to not be spoken about that you're worried about?
No. There's not one single worry in the world. All those letters were saying if you don't publicly. That's why I say like all these people are like, oh, he sent cease and desist. They can't say anything. I'm like, if anyone had a higher EQ than a frog, they would understand that that's not how it works. Even like there was like a fake report that I got arrested. I'm sure you guys
I was about to say, dude, I heard you.
There was like that's like how just
oh, don't worry, we checked.
There was no
out
of proportion. Like, and it's like you could. That's why I say is like if anyone had like any common sense, you could go. Those are like police report. Like those are all public records. Like you can go and do your research and find out if I was ever. I know you guys did. I'm saying like other people. I'm like, this is just so bizarre. This is so crazy to me. But no, there was never any worry because, like I said, I have proof of anything that I've ever done with anybody or anything like that. And nothing, absolutely nothing to hide. I just don't do the whole like public speaking on everything because I just don't think it's like people like really like get off to like this like public like drama and bashing and like all this stuff. And I'm like, I just don't care.
So welcome.
Thank you, man. This is
matters of public interest. That's what happens, right?
But like I said, at the end of the day, it sucks that stuff gets said about people. There's a lot of people that go through it actually in this industry and stuff like that, and it's really sad because there is actual victims of that. There is actual people that go through that. So I really genuinely feel sorry for those people that are like, it's like almost like a joke to them like now, like because like people can just like throw this around so lightly, and it's really way more serious than that. And that's why I decided to go the route that I did and like fully like legally like offline, because that's not something to play with. You don't do that. So
right. I think that was the issue though. Taking things offline makes people wonder, and there was just a lot of mystery.
Well, even if you were to go legally with it, it eventually comes out publicly. Like the truth comes out eventually.
100%.
Like, so it's like.
But that was the issue, I think, was just everyone wondering what exactly is going on. So setting the record straight.
That's why like I because social media gets so mixed up with like this person can say this and this person can say that. But if you go legally with it, it's like there's the proof. Here's what actually fucking happened. Like that. It's like there is no hiding anything. It's like there it is. Like, you know, like that's why I say like whenever people are going back and forth on the internet, it's his story and her story, or their story and their. It's like there's always a middle story that like no one will ever talk about.
Yeah, I want to get back to how you dealt with all of that, because I'm just thinking like we're a few months ago. This is before you dropped the open letter. This is kind of when people were still in like that thick of what are these rumors? Maybe there's speculation. How are you managing during that time?
Like I said, it put me at the lowest point of my life. But very soon, like I realized, like I'm also like I feel like I like matured kind of fast. Like I also like I'm a big Jesus guy as well. So I like to like really break things down.
Yeah.
And like I realized that no matter what, that's why I say it sucks that's being said, but no matter how bad, like, and I was going through a million other things, but you know, it really did fuck with like my, like you got to think I lost everybody in the span of like overnight, basically, like all my friends, all my family. I lost all my brand deals for bullshit. I lost like all this like money basically that I was supposed to be like getting and all this stuff, and which like that, like not that that's like what matters, but it's just like I lost like literally like everything for a couple months, like due to like bullshit. And it's like I took a step back and I realized it's like no matter how much, and that's why I feel like a lot of people like it's so easy to be sad in this industry, right? You just sit there and be sad. You just sit in your room. And it's like it's hard to like get up and keep going. And I sit back and I'm like, you know, no matter how much I get mad, no matter how much I cry, no matter how much whatever, it sucks that that's going on. But I can't change the fact that it's already happened. I can't change the fact that these people have already said whatever they want to say. All I can do is like, how can I just move forward from here, right? I feel like that's like what a lot of people like fail to realize, that like life does go on. Like it is what it is, and fuck what it was. Like just go for it, whatever. But yeah, I would say that. But now where I'm at now is like, I sit back and look at it, I'm like, that's crazy. That was like the best thing that could have ever happened to me in my life in the worst way possible, because it was a weird way of like God showing me like who just really shouldn't be a part of my life. And it's actually made me the happiest I've ever been. Now I have like a solid like group of friends around me now. My family's great. Like everything, like work is great. Like it was just a very unique way of like showing me like what direction I really should be going in. I think that this is like the best time to do it now, you know?
Right, because if you're going to pursue music, you got to, you know, when they Google Tayler Holder, this may come up. So this was a good, you're setting the record straight.
Yes, ma'am.
And yeah.
Have you been able to rekindle any of those relationships that you had with
specifically
those
Bryce
fans?
Hall?
Yeah, I'm just thinking about Bryce Hall. He kind of put out a
publicly
statement and kind of talked about.
I don't know who that is, man.
I feel that. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, go ahead.
All right. That's fair.
That's fair.
That's fair.
I'll never rekindle any of the friendships now.
Okay, so if they've publicly spoke out against you during this time,
Not even
you will
publicly,
never.
just
But a lot of things happen in private.
I know
like
it. Yeah. Like I
Okay.
said, there's a lot of stuff offline. I know what's happened. I'm very aware. I've been told a lot of stuff of people that even spoke internally just for friends. I know who's done what. And yeah. Like I said, it's a giant middle school, man. It's too gossipy. It's too all that stuff. So, and I just don't have the energy for that anymore, man. I like good moments with real people, and you know, in this industry, all anyone gives a fuck about is like hanging out to film with somebody, and then they're gone. Like it's like the moment that I had, like the big compound, like the house, and the people that were popping at the moment, like everyone was there. The moment that I moved by myself to this new house, no one has ever came over again. No one hits you. It's like everyone only like wants you around whenever you're doing something for them. Like not even up, just like if you're like doing stuff for people. Like I have people like that are just like, they're like a stunt people too. Like they need him for a stunt, and then like if they ever hit him up again, they'll never hit him up. They never answer them. It's like people just like move weird, man, and it's just not me. I like real moments with real people. I like going and like throwing baseballs and playing basketball and like real moments with real people. So
the people that didn't have your back during that time, you will never.
Yeah, not even just like have my back. Just like the people that knew what I was going through, and they unfollow me, or they still never once reached out to me to even like just talk to me. Because I don't think like, you know, like even a message that to those people, like, and anyone in life, honestly, like speaking from someone that like went through that, like I hope like, whether it won't be me because you guys like they'll never have that moment to do that to me again, but like I hope that they never do that to anybody else again, because it doesn't feel good, especially because I didn't do anything wrong.
Right.
I actually did nothing wrong. So.
All right, so rapid fire really quick, and then we can move on. Just to clarify, never been arrested.
Never been arrested.
Never been approached with any allegations by any law authority, any
Never.
police, anything like that.
No, sir.
All right, Steph.
There's
rapid fire?
no incident that ever happened that you are worried about potentially in the future coming out that
Never.
you're worried about?
Never.
Okay.
All right, can we
That's
talk
it.
about music now?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
No, all right. So tell us about your music career, man. So we know "Human" is the big song now. But what inspired you getting into music? First of all, they told me not to mention this, but we did listen to your Christmas jam.
All right.
Before.
We weren't supposed to we were bopping to that. That was like
Did
a
you?
one. Yeah.
It was cool. It was cool.
Well, I'm a Christmas fan. So
Yeah, we're Christmas people.
Yeah, we're
But, like,
Christmas
I love
people.
Christmas. It's
Okay,
such a great
same.
time of the year. It's
Right.
like really the best.
So if you're a Christmas person, that's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
But like,
sure.
what inspired you in getting into music at all? Because it didn't seem like something you were aiming for at first.
So that's what a lot of people don't understand is like because I blew up on the internet
doing things other than music.
Yeah, so it was like I was like rolling with this because that's what was working. You know, that's what was, that's what was like paying the bills. That's what was working. So I had to keep rolling with that. But I was always working. I've been working on music for the past like 3 or 4 years, like
Wow.
really hard.
Yeah.
But like no one ever saw it because I wasn't really posting a lot of stuff. I would like hint stuff sometimes, like some OG people would know. But I've wanted to do music since I was a kid. I used to always look up to like like the Justins and like
Yeah.
Sean and all those guys and but I grew up in a really, really small town to where like
Where are you
like,
from?
I'm from Alvarado, Texas. It's like 40 minutes south of Dallas. There's like nobody. There's like a couple thousand people in my town. Everyone knows everyone and no one makes music like that. It's like so I didn't know how to make music.
Yeah.
I always loved it, but coming out here and getting in the whole like social media space, I like ended up like, as you get bigger, you start you through mutual friends, you'll meet like other artists, you'll meet producers, you'll meet bigger people in the industry and stuff like that. And then that led me to like getting in sessions with people and just learning, just slowly meeting new people to figure out how to like make the music, So, cause I play every instrument. I just didn't ever know how to like do it. I guess that, so.
Take me back to the beginning of your TikTok career. Were you living in Texas at the time? Were people like, what are you doing?
No, so that's what a lot of people don't know as well either. Is because my blow up on TikTok was so big that everyone thinks that I just came from TikTok, which like that is what made me as big as what I am today.
Okay.
But I was all the way back on like Vine, bro. I was
No
like going
way.
like I was with like. I only did like a couple, but like I was like back with like Cameron, like with MagCon, like back in
No
the day.
way.
Like it was like 1600 Vine days.
I
Like
was a MagCon girl.
I was, yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, let's
Steph
go.
is
was,
like
like,
an internet OG.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I know it all.
Come on, let's go.
Okay.
And so I actually had like 1.2 million followers on Instagram before I even started TikTok.
No
I was
way.
on
Yeah.
Musical.ly actually. That's what originally was like. Remember
That
Musical.ly?
seems to be the
Musical.ly,
story.
Yeah, I try to forget it sometimes, man, but it just always
Okay.
seems to haunt up on me. There will be sometimes I'm not gonna lie, I see like on my TikTok for you page, people will go back and like duet
post
my
your old-
Musical.lys.
Oh,
I'm like-
Explain a little bit about what
don't.
like Musical.ly is for the people who don't know.
Musical.ly it was basically TikTok now, but it was like strictly mainly
Animatronic.
only lip syncing, and it was all like you would film them in like slow motion almost to like, and they would be
And they would
fast. Like they would be like fast. If like you would always see like
It was like
people,
very
going
much
crazy,
like
dude,
it was very much like
yeah, I don't even know how to explain it. It was
Nah,
very,
wasn't on
very
Musical.ly.
unique, man. But that was something that like definitely helped me get my start. And then actually like stopped because of just mentally I was like all over the place. I was like I said, just like through all of this stuff, it's like a lot mentally and there's a lot of like pressure. But I stopped for a little while. I ended up like I low-key was like on the downfall. I was like going down. I was like my engagement was going down. I wasn't posting as much. I wasn't ever doing anything. And then a few of my friends were like, yo, this TikTok app is like going crazy. Like you guys should hop on it. And I was like, man, because this is the time where I was really trying to do music. Like, but like, I was like, I don't know, man. I really want to be taken serious, bro. And it seems a little cringe. And I ended up giving it a try. And I thank God every day that I did because that's the reason where I am. And so yeah.
totally.
How would you describe your style of music?
I
Because you
would
said back in your hometown, nobody was making the kind of music you were making. So how
yeah,
would
no,
you
I'm saying
describe
like in
that?
general, like there's
nobody making music,
I
just
think,
period.
I think if you look up and this like and as least conceited as this can sound, I think I'm like the most famous person from my town, and then right underneath that is my best friend Cody that started this with me. It's like and like there's like nobody
Yeah.
does anything that like we do from my hometown. Like there was just nobody that did. So I was saying like I never was able to get with anyone to make music there because like
Got it.
it's just a bunch of country fucks that, you know. And,
so how would you describe your style of music though now?
it's very cool. Like I've been working with my producers a lot. I got put with these amazing producers. It's their name is Luke and Simon, and they're called The Chapters. They're crazy talented. But we really dove in and just was working on my sound. Like I said, I was doing R&B, and then I just started doing some like soulful stuff, like. And we were just kind of maxing everything together because I really fuck with country music as well. Like country.
Well, you're from Texas.
Right.
That fits. Yeah.
And so we're trying to like find like a happy medium of like merging like country pop, like urban, like still like soulful, like all together. So it'll and like the new stuff coming out, you'll see that a little bit more. It's Human was just kind of like a moment that I was going through, and I just wanted to. It was kind of I was like on my like Lonely by Justin Bieber moment. Like I just like just speaking to the people, you know. But this new music coming out, I think you guys are really gonna like it actually, and I'm excited for you guys to hear it.
That's good.
It's a new direction. So.
I am curious. Do you think you will pursue TikTok for the long haul, just because that is where you got your start?
I think that I'll always post on the internet because like I don't really agree with like some of the people that like are where they are now, and they're like, do you miss TikTok or do you miss Vine and they're like, absolutely not. I'm like, me honestly, like I'm always gonna be that weird goofy kid that posts on the internet still. Like I love YouTube because I can really just show me and like the crazy shit that I do. I grew up, you know, a professional athlete. I was racing professional motocross before all this. I played football, baseball, basketball, like all varsity my freshman year. Like I was like an all around like athlete, and there's a lot of people that don't know that. So like I like YouTube. I just want people to always get to, not only through my music but through my videos and my content, to like really like see me and like just like the goofy kid I am as well. So I'll always be posting on the internet. I'll always be doing my content stuff too.
Yeah. Dude, first of all, how many fucking tattoos do you have? Because like,
dude,
we talked about this before the interview started, and it's like insane.
I don't know actually.
Okay.
I have like my hand and all the way up my arm, and then so I'm going like up this arm and down this leg. Like I have like all these.
Show the camera.
Insane. That's your camera right there.
Yeah, I got like all these like going up. I gotta finish the back of my leg right here.
I feel that.
I'm not happy for this part though. That part's gonna hurt like right behind my knee. And then I have like a whole spine piece that goes down my back.
What's your favorite tattoo? Did you get any tattoos during this hard time in your life?
I get tattoos probably like every month, like a couple times a month. Yeah,
but
I
sad,
have like
go get a tattoo.
But I have like small stuff. Like I just put like a bunch of small stuff everywhere and just call it a day. You know, it's so funny because every time I get a tattoo as well, like everyone's like, "Where's your inspiration?" Like I do, like all my tattoos are very meaningful, but like I kind of like put my own meaning on them. Like I find cool stuff that I like as well. But like my tattoo artist will come by the house and be like, "All right, what do you want?" I'm like, "I have no idea, but I'm looking on Pinterest right now, so I can figure it out." Like I just like that's how I figure out my tattoos. I'm just like, I don't know, just go with it.
So what can you tell us, if anything, about the new music that's coming up?
It's
Other
amazing.
Than it's good.
It's amazing, dude. I think it's really gonna speak to a lot of people. I think a lot of people are gonna be able to relate to it a lot because, like I said, I'm talking about real stuff that real people go through as well. You know, breakups and love and all this stuff. And for this next song coming out, you know, not to like give too much about it, but it's a song called I Hope, and I ended up falling in love with this girl, and basically caught her with ex doing their thing, you know, a couple times, and so it's just basically me saying like, you know, like, fuck, like I hope he can give you everything I don't, you know, and so it's real things that real people go through on a daily basis. So
cool. And when do you expect the new single to drop?
I think it's dropping in like 5 weeks, 6 weeks or something like that. 5 or 6 weeks, yeah.
His team is like, don't tell them.
No, it's like 5, yeah, something like that, a couple weeks. Huh? June 9th.
All right.
Yeah, that's when it's dropping. See, I'm like all over the place. They got me going crazy over here. I don't know. But June 9th, yeah.
So you've been through kind of this like weirdly tumultuous period, and now you're doing music. Do you feel like you'll be able to kind of get past that image that you kind of got in the last couple of months?
I'm already past it, man. There's days that there's like not even days. Like there's like every day that goes by, I forget that even happens until I have moments like this where like people ask me or like talk to me or bring it back up. I'm like, I forgot that shit ever even happened, man. I'm just like, I'm loving life right now, man. I'm the happiest I've ever been. I'm sailing right now.
With all the rumors that went on this, you know, past year, where do you see yourself in 5 years when it comes to hate in the future? Do you think this is like you've learned a lot from this experience? What have you learned from like all of this stuff?
I definitely learned a lot, you know. It definitely like I learned a lot from it, and where I see myself in 5 years, I see myself selling out stadiums. Honestly, I really do. But you say like, what did I learn from this? I think that just you don't need like a whole group around you. You know, just get a couple great people around you that are good people for you, and just keep your head locked in and loaded, and just keep going, keep moving forward.
Yeah. You are, like you said, one of the biggest people in the kind of influencer TikTok space.
Yes,
What
sir.
advice do you have for young influencers who may experience something similar, or just maybe just getting into the game that you want to kind of give them some
Yeah,
tips?
I would say slow down and be patient. I think that like that's what a lot of people forget to do
Mhm.
is to really slow down. And that's one thing that I did. And I'm speaking mainly for like honestly like maybe a little bit more like mentally like right now like healthier for your mentality because I got so indulged in like this like quote unquote like famous life of
Yeah.
like all this stuff and all I was doing, like my assistant that's with me now, and like all this stuff, like she went through it all with me, and it was like the hardest time of my life. I was so sad, and it's because I was being worked so much every day, and I didn't know how to like. I was never satisfied too, which is like a blessing and a curse because I feel like me never being satisfied was always like a blessing because I just kept going, but I was never
Right.
I never like just took a step back and breathed and like just took a second to like just let my I would say like slow down. But as far as like the content wise to be successful, I would say be different, man. There's a lot of people doing the same shit. Like it's like because it works, and everyone wants to just do the trends because it works. I mean, I would say like everyone has their own like niche, like, and it's like weird. It could be like something you never even thought. Like, dude, like, it's funny. Like I laugh at it, but like I blew up from like making shirtless videos on the internet. Like these like thirst. It's like it just comes weird, man. Like it just keep going. Like consistency is everything. Like people don't pay attention to the views. Like fuck the views. Honestly, it's just like it'll come.
But if someone was canceled in the future, let's say there's a little kid watching right now that's
Yeah.
going to be a TikToker and they're canceled,
Mhm.
what would your advice be to get through that experience? Because you're saying that was all for no reason.
Yeah.
So what would your experience, like, what would your advice be to someone who's going to be canceled?
You know,
And
my advice is also like that's why it goes back to like the whole everyone has an opinion. You know, you can't change the fact that like you can't just like control what people are gonna say. People are gonna speak freely. They're gonna say whatever the fuck they want. At the end of the day, speak on like what you know is true. Just
Mhm.
be honest about everything and like. I mean, honesty is like the most important thing. If you can just be honest with yourself, then like no one. I mean, you can say whatever. At the end of the day, no one's gonna believe you. Like no, or like no, people are gonna
they're going to
believe
come
you,
up
and
with
then
their own
like
narrative.
it's like
Yeah.
no matter what you say, you could say everything in the world that's correct, but like everyone is still gonna have their own opinion. That's what sucks about this, you know. So I would just say, man, just keep doing your own thing. Honestly, like let you don't even. I wouldn't even say like show it attention unless it's like something that you need to like show attention to. But at that point, you're just like giving more attention to people that like potentially don't even know about it. Like that's like you're bringing up this like stuff that like falsely didn't even happen, and like you're letting more people know about what didn't happen. Now they're like, what's going on? And they start like researching, and then they, I don't know.
You talked about taking care of your mental health. What are some things that you actually do though to kind of keep yourself mentally healthy?
Yeah, dude. So like I said, I would go out. So I forgot like the point of life doing all this stuff, right? I got so like I said, I got so like caught up in all this stuff, and like I go out like I went back home for a long time actually and spent some time with my family for a while. And then I go and like play a bunch of sports, and I also like I said, I'm a big Jesus guy. Like I go to church a lot. I listen to worship music every day. I talk to God a lot. I kind of just like like what where should I be, man? Just like learning, but like just real moments. Honestly, is like that's how I got through it. Was just like having like that like not like materialistic shit just shoved in my face every day.
Yeah.
It's like I told my team to like basically like fuck off for a little while, and I'm gonna go fucking throw a frisbee. I'm gonna go and just like reground myself with life because I feel like everyone forgets the point of life. You know, it's like you have $1 million, that's cool. That's really dope. Congratulations. But that's not the point. You know, it's like everyone misses the point, and I think that I did too. My relationship with my family got really bad. My mental health got really bad. My everything just got really bad at one point because of all of this. So
Would you say a lot of influencers are out of touch now that you live that life?
a lot of them, man. There. And don't get me wrong, there is because like everyone like I talk to about, it, they're like, wow, you make me scared to even move out to LA because like everyone's a piece of shit. And I'm like, there is good people, and like, and not saying that these people that are going through this right now aren't good people because I went through the same thing. I moved out here when I was 18. My mom was a huge part of my life. She was definitely the reason that I'm here. They supported me and funded me and a lot of stuff. But I moved out here with no parents. Like I moved out here on my own. I had no discipline. I fucked off. I did everything that a kid would do. Like I didn't focus. I didn't get shit done. I whenever I did start popping, I neglected my friends that were my friends. I was a piece of shit. Like sometimes like everyone goes through that, and it's just I think it's like about how you react to situation. I think it's about how you like can change that and control it. Like, but everyone goes through their stage. You know, everyone that blows up really fast always they go through it, man. That's why I'm just like give it time.
Yeah.
So you're pursuing music right now. You went through a lot this year and you're expressing yourself through your music. who would be your dream collab to?
That's a
in
good
this music
question. A lot
world?
of people ask me that actually. I would say someone like probably. Can I give you like just like 2 or 3 just so because like I
Totally.
can't really narrow it down to one.
Yeah.
Probably like I would say probably Justin, Sean, or like Ed Sheeran. Just because like I've really followed their craft for a long time and I've seen how much they've worked for it and I really really respect it. There's a lot of people that like that they just work their ass off and like
They've
and I
been
think
through a
that they're
lot
so
too.
talented, man. Like
Yeah.
I look up to them so much and so I would say probably one of those 3 honestly.
Tayler
if I
Holder,
have to,
everybody. Tayler, thanks so much for joining us, man. We appreciate it. Tayler, we're going to get into a performance of your single right now. Tell the people what they're about to hear.
Yes, sir. You guys are about to get an exclusive live performance of my new single, Human, right here with TMZ Verified. Some things make no sense. I can't hold it in. You see what you see, but that's not how it is. Behind your screen, this looks like gold, but there's things you don't know. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Why does it seem when it's good, everybody's around, but they leave when they see my whole world's crashing down. On my knees, I'm broken. This is it. How about now? How about now? 'Cause I'm only human. Hit me, I'm bruising. And why do you judge these things and hate me for my mistake? I'm looked at so different, but nobody listens. I say that I'm not okay, but nobody cares to stay. Oh, I'm only human. Oh, I'm only human. I know you see me broken. I call, but nobody's coming. You see my face, I smile about it, but I'm broken hearted. But you don't see no difference. Why does it seem when it's good, everybody's around, but they leave when they see my whole world's crashing down. On my knees, I'm broken. This is it. How about now? How about now? 'Cause I'm only human. Hit me, I'm bruising. And why do you judge these things and hate me for my mistakes? I'm looked at so different, but nobody listens. I say that I'm not okay, but nobody cares to stay. Oh, I'm only human. Oh, I'm only human. Oh, I'm only human.